presentation so far really makes us feel that we are really living in very exciting times. The rate at which the changes are taking place, the changes in machine learning, artificial intelligence, cyber security, and nanotechnology, stem cell technology, genetics, but it's mind-boggling. The rate at which the technology is changing, the entire sector is going through such transformation. And we are all very proud of the kind of development that India as a country has seen in the last few decades. But one thing always I keep reflecting, but is everybody is being carried by this development, right? Because also the nature of society is that when you solve one problem, the solution leads to another problem. Just to give you an example, when there was food shortage, we went for green revolution. Today we are trying to solve the problem of excess chemicals in the food. And when there is traffic jam, we construct flyovers. And then where do we get the labor? We get migrant labor from Bihar, Jharkhand. So slums are born next to the flyovers. Every one of the development that we are talking about invariably brings with it a set of problems. Because always there is a segment in the society which is vulnerable, which cannot get onto this bandwagon that easily of this development and the discourses that we are all listening to. And as human beings, we cannot turn a blind eye to that. We are not animals to say that survival of the fittest. That's a law of the jungle. As human beings, we believe that Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, may all be happy. Right? That's our motto. And that's a human nature to feel for the suffering of others and to do something about it. And that's one thing we have to realize, that the development is not always a single-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. While we achieve some things, it also creates some other problems. And if we are conscious of it, in fact, this is what social responsibility is all about. While we are developing, while we are achieving, are we conscious? What is the side effect of it? What is the collateral damage that we are causing? And try to minimize the damage as much as possible. And also take care of people who are left behind in this rat race. And in that context, I really want to say that the present generation of young people are way beyond in the social responsibility compared to a generation back. Because 25 years back when we graduated, we had the question in our mind, do we get a job? Right? That kind of insecurity was there in most people's minds. But today, due to the immense development in the country, we are looking at what is the best job for me. It's not that whether I'm going to get a job, but which job should I take? And which one aligns with my passion, my strengths. I think that's a good state to be in. But social sector, as I mentioned, it's inevitable because any development work will always leave behind few people. And as human beings, we have the responsibility to carry everyone. This is what we call as Antyodaya or Sarvodaya, like carrying everyone together with us. And it's not a favor that we are doing also. In fact, if we are reasonably successful in our lives, it's not because of our own individual efforts. Everyone has contributed to it. Not directly like our parents, teachers, but the farmers who are toiling, they are the ones who are giving us food. Even when you drink a cup of water, hundreds of people have worked hard to put pipes from that river to your tap, right? So our very existence is because of the sacrifice of the efforts of many unknown people, and we must be aware of it. In fact, this awareness about social debt that we have borrowed from society will compel us to do something about the society, to give it back to society. That's why we always use the word give back, because we have already borrowed, right? A part of it we are giving back to society. While social sector is a growing segment in terms of career, while for few people it can be a career, but it has to be a lifestyle for all of us. As volunteers, all of us must give back to community. While few people can take it up as a career. And interestingly, when we were doing engineering, when Infosys came for campus recruitment, they said we are open to all branches. When Bajaj came, they took mechanical students. When mining company came, they took mining students. But when TCS and Infosys came, okay, any branch is okay for us. And social work is like that. We not necessary that we have to be a MSW graduate. Anyone, if you are compassionate, and if you want to make a difference, then you are very welcome in this sector. And there are ample opportunities even to take it up as a full-time career. See, today if you want to start your own organization, it can be an NGO or it can be a social enterprise. The ecosystem is very fertile. There are a lot of support systems that exist today in terms of the social incubators and venture funding for the social enterprises. When it's really fertile. It was not like 15-20 years back when you really had to struggle to run an NGO. And even if you don't want to start on your own, there are many opportunities in the existing NGOs, larger foundations like Tata Trust, Infosys Foundation, United Ways, many of the foundations that you have. And also you can start on your own. All these opportunities are there today to start. And CSR also. When the CSR, corporate social responsibility, is a mandate now, every company will need to have at least one person or larger companies, a team to handle the corporate social responsibility. So as a career also, it's a good place to be in, but definitely you cannot expect the remuneration like the IT industry, right? But in compensation, you get a lot of satisfaction, a sense of doing something more meaningful, adding more value to others' lives. So those are the compromises you need to make. And but as a volunteer, I would urge each and every one of you to spare some time in your day. Right? You don't have to take it as full-time career. As a college student, as a professional, make it a point that at least 3-4 hours in a week, I'll commit for the social work. And in fact, Youth for Seva's mission is that how do we create a movement of volunteering? And often the volunteering can become mindless, in the sense it can become like a one-time selfie opportunity. You go to your orphanage, give some chocolates to kids, they smile and you take a selfie and you post it in social media with the tag that I brought smiles in the faces of children. But those are, I would say, temporary. You really have not made any impact on the child. But go for more meaningful, well-designed, well-structured volunteering programs. And that's where Youth for Seva has been partnering with many corporates. More than 100 corporates have partnered with us to design their employee volunteering programs. And a lot of colleges are partnering with us because now it is becoming a mandate. For all the engineering students, it's a mandate now that 80 hours they need to volunteer. AICT has mandated. And NAC accreditation for autonomous universities is demanding that you show community service. So while the mandate is one thing, making it meaningful is more important. Otherwise, it can become, as I mentioned, just a selfie volunteering program. And we are here to work with any of the colleges or corporates to ensure that volunteering is not just about selfie, but it is to create selfless volunteers. And that's a journey we need to make, selfie volunteering to selfless volunteering. And I really thank Rotary Club of both Chennai as well as Bengaluru to host this kind of a seminar and present social work both as a career and as a value that we all have to practice in our lives. Thank you very much.